get those sweet YouTube views.
So Shnerdcast, here with Trinidad, Mr. Predicament every other month, it feels like.
AKA T Daddy.
T Daddy, I like. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I'll go with it. Yeah. I'm not gonna let that kind of throw me off. So yeah, we're here with Trinidad. Gonna be talking about some of that Terminator movie that we saw that came out about a few weeks ago. Talk about some Star Wars and some other things like some favorite consoles or like early console memories or online memories that we have. And maybe a little bit of crazy weed stories or some random weed stories that we could think of off the top of our heads. So, so this is going to be the Thanksgiving Shnerdcast episode.
Oh, dope. That's dope.
So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you guys are good and
Definitely
safe.
that bubbler, or would that be not a good idea right now?
Oh, we could hit that, yeah. But yeah, Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are all with friends and family and nice and warm and toasty.
Truly with your loved ones. Don't be with no people you don't want to be with. Don't do that to yourselves.
Yeah, and if you're by yourself, just, buy a bucket of KFC and
Keep on keeping on, brother.
Yep, smoke that stogie, drink that 40, just relax. Let's tackle what I've been wanting to do for a while, but this fool's been getting ripped away by his other half, we'll say.
Sorry.
It's all good, I'm just fucking poking.
You gotta do your manly duty.
Terminator, Dark Fate. One
of my favorite series of movies is the Terminator series. I've rewatched the Terminator series, especially Terminators 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So many times, bro.
Yeah,
so many times. Not 3 so much.
Same here.
Rise of the Machines.
Yeah.
Not so much, but
I've seen Rise of the Machines. That was the fourth one, right? With John Connor when they're in the future.
When they're in the future.
Remember, this is the fourth one that Christian Bale did when they're in the future.
That's the one with the chick from. You're talking about the one from the chick that played Sarah Connor. The one from the fucking Game of Thrones.
No. That's the one before this one. So there's the one where there's John Connor. Remember?
Well, yeah, John Connor's in a good portion of them.
Hey Google, what is John Connor and Christian Bale movie called?
Terminator Salvation.
Terminator Salvation.
Oh, that's right.
You didn't see that one?
I did. I've seen all of them. Well, like I said,
that one was probably really good. You know what's funny is people really hated that one, but since this new one came out, these last two came out, that Salvation is looking pretty solid compared to those other ones, you know what I mean?
Let's see. Okay, yeah, I remember that one. I'm looking pretty weak on my Terminator right now. But
it's good, man. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to blame you for not knowing your Terminator.
Well, I mean, Terminator Salvation. I mean, it was 2009, the 2009 film. It wasn't like a popular one, and it was good.
Didn't we see that in theaters? Me, you, and Will.
I can't remember.
I think me, you, and Will saw that in theaters.
It's possible. I can't remember. But look.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So
I did watch it, and I've watched it a few times because, like I said, Terminators in general is one of my favorite series of movies. Just like I said, when I watch them, I just really watch the first, second. Honestly, those two, because those are the two original ones. The third one's Rise of the Machines, bro.
It's alright.
It was okay. It was good. And then, let me see here. Let me pull up. I'm pretty sure I know how it goes. It goes, obviously, Terminator, and then Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and then Terminator Salvation, and then Terminator, the one with the chick from...
So, if you remember the third one, it was the plot where they stopped Skynet, but they just delayed it. They never stopped it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and John Connor's like a grown man, and he's trying to save him, and
and Arnold came back again.
And this time, he's like, the Terminator is kind of like, just like in the second one, a good guy.
Yeah.
So that's what it goes. It goes Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation,
and then the reboot.
Terminator Genesis.
And then the reboot.
Right. Terminator Genesis was kind of the reboot, somewhat. It's just like the beginning, but still a different plot twist.
Yeah.
And then Terminator Dark Fate.
That was the reboot.
So, and then this is what we're doing. We're doing the whole review on Dark Fate. So, okay, first, so what do you think, Ben? What do you think about Dark Fate?
So I said this in the like I kind of went on like a huge rant. It's gonna be cut up a little bit because I wanted to save like most of the what I had said and didn't really address for this one. But I thought overall it wasn't a bad Terminator movie. It was pretty stale, and you know how not a lot of action, not as much action as you want. It was too much like space in between dialogue and context, and it felt like there was more filler than context. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of explanation outside of the very like few times, and then when we do get it, it's like, oh, the Terminator hero was like, oh, I need to get my pills because fucking I run on fucking injection on heroin. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about it. There wasn't a lot of explanation. Like, I was like, why the fuck are they after this girl? Who the fuck is she? And they kind of just remade a new John Connor.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what pissed people off, because I guess where that the quote unquote woke aspect comes into, because it's like they rebooted the Terminator as a female, and John Connor's a female. Well, let's just address the elephant in the room and be like,
I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it like that. But
John Connor died in the very like not even 30 seconds into the movie.
I know, he died 30 seconds into the fucking
like the
movie.
credits last or not the credits, the intros into the fucking movie lasted longer than John Connor did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The intro credits. You can't start off a Terminator movie with killing John Connor. Like, that's taboo, you know? That'd be like starting a Star Wars movie, like Obi-Wan died right away, or, you know what I mean, Anakin died. I don't know. You can't just do that, you know? You can't just kill off John Connor.
Yeah, I mean, he's the whole the Terminator series revolves around John fucking Connor, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the whole reason the Terminators come back into fucking time.
Yeah.
To fucking kill John Connor.
What'd you think about how they sent multiple Terminators? Was that just kind of like a stupid retcon to just throw in there?
What do you mean sent multiple Terminators and what?
So the one we're talking about,
Dark Fate.
Yeah, so they were able to kill the T-1000, but apparently they sent multiple Terminators to come kill John Connor. That's how he died, remember?
Yeah, that Terminator killed him.
And I guess they're saying they sent multiple. It was just weird. Like, there wasn't much. It was. You don't remember that?
But what do you mean though? Like,
so like she said they sent 7 Terminators
to kill John Connor.
Yeah, but I guess the first one they sent after. I don't know if they killed 7 more Terminators, or if it was like the first Terminator, that Arnold one that comes back to help him, killed him, and then afterwards more Terminators just kept on popping up.
Oh, right. Well,
from a past that never existed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
or a future. Sorry.
I think they were saying like after that more kept popping. After John died, Sarah Connor kept killing Terminators.
Yeah. So okay. Keep going.
Yes, she kept killing Terminators because she kept getting these text messages or whatever. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, all spoilers here.
But that's where the 7 came from. Like, I don't know. I can't remember exactly when they were explaining it. You know, I don't know what number killed John in that movie.
Yeah. Me neither. I don't think they ever really say.
Yeah, but I mean, they did say they kept coming, and Sarah Connor kept killing them because she kept getting these text messages.
Okay.
And but I think that's where the 7 came from. But I could be wrong. I can't remember.
What'd you think of the?
You figure they stopped coming after John Connor's dead, right? But obviously not, because now the new girl is John Connor, and that's why they kept coming again.
So what'd you think of the?
Likely.
So what'd you think of the? Because this one kind of threw people off. What do you think of the time travel aspect of? Okay, they stopped Skynet from ever happening, but the timeline got erased. So how are they able to keep on? And this is where time travel gets tricky. Because, you know, Kyle Reese came from the future that was sent by John Connor to pretty much save Sarah Connor and have sex with her.
To have John.
Yeah.
That's what, when I first learned that's...
Shit got fucking real.
Yeah, and I think you know what? I think they didn't even mention that until Terminator Salvation. I don't think they...
No. They mentioned in the first one, but I don't think Kyle Reese ever knew he was supposed to be John Connor's dad.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
In the first one, he didn't.
Yes, yeah.
And Oh no, they did say in the first one. Because end of the movie, I remember Sarah saying something like, "Would it affect your decision of sending him back?" Blah blah blah. No, I remember it did. They did mention that in the first one.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot to put my phone in airplane mode, so hopefully we didn't get much interference in this. But go on, my bad.
My phone's on airplane mode.
No, it's because my phone's recording with a microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be like. And I think that's because that right there was pretty dope because they showed, and they even showed some of the future, how it was funny because it's supposed to be like 1999 or whatever.
I know.
Which is hilarious. But when we watched it when we were kids, we're like, whoa, that's like 5 years from now. It's kind of like the Back to the Future thing where it's like 2015 and
yeah,
Cubs almost won the championship that year too. That's what was crazy.
And Back to the Future, I think they traveled back. I think they traveled to the future to like 2019 or some bullshit, 2020 or some bullshit like that.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I kind of want to address is the time travel theory. Is do you know much about time travel and like the theories out there and like how there could be different scenarios?
Nope.
Because that time travel theory with John Connor, this is what could have happened. So let's say this, Trinidad. You go back, you visit your grandfather, and you accidentally kill him. There's either two things that's gonna happen. You're just gonna exist and just die and never exist, or you just keep on living, because you are in a new timeline where you never really you don't exist, but you're still there. Does that kind of make sense? So, okay, let me try to explain this a little bit better. Damn, it's been a while since I looked up this there. So,
it sounds like
you created a new timeline.
Exactly, where my grandpa did exist and didn't exist.
Yes.
So again, for example, if I go back in time and accidentally get my grandpa killed, or I kill him,
yeah, or your dad or whatever.
Whatever.
Just stick with the grandpa.
Yeah, with the grandpa. So in that, when I go back in time, that
there's either two things that are gonna happen.
That moment in time where I kill my grandpa, that turns into a timeline where he dies.
Yeah.
And then the timeline, and then when I go back to my timeline, that's a timeline where my grandpa was alive.
Exactly. Thank you, dude.
So now there's two timelines.
You created a timeline where your grandpa never existed, so you technically never existed in that timeline. But if you go back to your time, you do exist.
Because in my timeline, my grandpa did exist.
Yeah. And you didn't go back in time and kill him.
Exactly.
Oops. But yeah, so that's one of the things where they stopped it from happening, but there's still a timeline. You know what I mean? That
Right.
timeline still is going on. So that's one of the things that would make sense, but I don't know exactly what kind of time travel they have, because it kind of seems where it's a linear time travel thing, you know, instead of the alternate thing. Because what you just said, that was an alternate time travel where you create a new timeline, but you still have your timeline. Or if, in instance, you accidentally do kill your grandpa, you wipe out your existence. So that's more of like a linear timeline, you know what I'm saying?
How did you do that?
It was just like it wasn't supposed to happen. That's the whole thing with time travel. We don't really know, you know what I mean? So like this is just a theory. So if time travel is linear, like how we think it is, or like time is linear, if we go back in time,
then I would never exist.
Yeah, but
if it's alternate,
yeah,
then
exactly.
I just create two timelines.
Exactly.
And in the Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
they have an alternate.
Yeah, I think they try to say it was. No, you're right. Yeah, they split. It was like they split it.
They split.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just watched the Avengers, so that's what they were talking about. And,
Dude, you should watch Rick and Morty because they kind of dumbed that shit down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They have like a bunch of dimensions, and that's another thing is where it's like you could go into another dimension, and it's just like a whole other thing, or it could just be another thing where it's just a bunch of different realities, and it just happened to be you were in that reality where you're supposed to, you know what I mean, go back and do all that stuff. But with the Terminator thing, they do kind of explain it as a linear timeline, you know what I mean, because Kyle Reese has to go back to the past.
Yeah,
he has to be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a circle, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
like a loop, like a timeline loop. So I don't know. it's one of those things where they never really address it, and they try to do it much. That's one of the time travel things I just wanted to throw out there because people are complaining about that.
We'll never really know unless we find out that the government has time travel.
Yeah.
But I mean, that'd be crazy.
I guess that's what the Mandela effect is.
What would you do if you could go back in time?
If I go back in time? So, what do you mean? Like, if I go back in time and I'm, like, my younger self with what I know now? Or if I go back in time and I'm myself back in time?
Yeah.
How far back in time? I don't know.
You pick a time. You go back in time and you change something either that would affect your future or future in general.
I'd really like to, I guess the obvious would be try to prevent 9/11 just to see what it would be like. Like how
That's
life...
obvious. Damn, I didn't think of that.
I mean, for me, I guess I watch like a lot of YouTube and like people, so like 9/11 every now and then gets brought up. So, but if it was something that happened when I was alive in timeline, it would probably be 9/11. If it was me personally, I'd probably like get rid of one of my ex-girlfriends, like make her disappear or something. I don't know, or like just do something where I'd try to like make myself undo one of my ex-girlfriends.
I'd like to stay away from her.
Yeah, but maybe that would like cause a whole different thing because it was kind of needed, but not needed at the same time. Like, what about you, bro?
Let's see. If I could go back and change something in general that would affect the future in general, I want to say kill Hitler. Now that you brought up 9/11, I want to say kill Hitler just to see.
Yeah, that was even more obvious than 9/11, I guess. That's pretty crazy.
Or maybe stop Pearl Harbor. Because
if you stop Pearl Harbor, then maybe that might fucking... Because if the Japanese never attacked us, we probably never would have went into it. And the Germans probably would have kept on increasing there.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that, so I don't know.
No. You gotta learn your World War II history, bro. You gotta learn your history.
I'll watch the documentary.
That helps too. It's really good.
I don't know. I'd probably affect future. I don't know much, but just I guess you're right. Some of the just the obvious thing. Maybe I try to stop Hitler.
Yeah. And
then for myself, if I could change something for myself.
Take something more seriously.
Start jiu-jitsu earlier.
Start jiu-jitsu earlier.
Yeah, definitely.
You're like, you get my pussy.
Start jiu-jitsu earlier.
Nice.
Okay, but overall,
well, I want to ask you real quick. What do you think about the Mexican Terminator?
Mexican Terminator.
You said that in the theater, the Terminator, the movie.
Can't remember.
You don't remember saying that?
No.
Where he first appeared, and you're like, "It's the Mexican Terminator." No, you don't remember saying that to me in the movie, bro?
No.
I mean, it was like 3 weeks ago, so I don't blame you.
Yeah. And then we smoked a blunt right before. Well, when Arnold Schwarzenegger just showed up?
Okay, so the Terminator that fought them, that was like trying to kill.
Oh, yeah.
The new future Terminator from Legion or whatever.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, he was the Mexican Terminator.
Because do you notice this too, right? And then I think because people didn't really watch it, or like people who did watch it, or like I should say major YouTubers who watched it kind of jumped on that like crap on it hype.
Yeah.
Which I can see why, but I did somewhat enjoy it. I'm a Terminator guy like you, so like I'm
a Terminator fanboy. So honestly, I liked all the Terminator movies.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't like the last one that came out, the reboot with the. It was good though. I just didn't like how they made John Connor the bad guy.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird one. I also don't like how they made him a bad guy because he's supposed to be the fucking good guy.
Yeah, the hero.
But I mean, they're totally twisting the plot like in that one. I feel like they're like because they're going back. It's kind of the reboot back in 1984.
Yeah.
But then something else happens. Like
And you got an old Arnold for some reason that's been around forever, and
yeah, and then like
they like took that idea and threw it into this new
they
one.
go and try and change the whole. I don't know. I have to go back and watch. Honestly, I've only watched that one so many times.
I've only watched it once.
Yeah, see, I think I only watched it once or twice. I'm gonna watch it again though.
We should come back and do a fucking trilogy or like the whole series review.
Right. We should just watch all of them.
I'd be hella down for that, dude.
Me too, dude. I love the Terminator movies, especially the first and second one. And then the third one I only watched a few times. But the third one I love because it was that female term. Actually, no, they brought the first female Terminator, bro, was in Rise of the Machines.
Yeah.
Terminator 3. It was a
She was
Terminator.
evil though, so.
Yeah, she was evil.
Yeah.
But she was fine as fuck. And
She was.
The Terminator for Rise of the Machines 3, she was a model, and she had like no.
Dude, that's like the perfect role for a model. You don't have to say anything and just look sexy as fuck.
She did not say anything throughout that whole fucking.
I think she said a couple things, but it was like stupid, like Arnold type lines, like "That's not gonna work," and then she stabs somebody. Or, you know what I mean?
Dude, I watched that movie a few times. Now that I remember, I don't remember her saying anything in that movie.
She says a few things.
could
It was
be
like,
wrong.
if you watch the original Terminator, he doesn't say much either, but he's fucking. You know what I mean? The original Terminator is sick because it's fucking Arnold, like prime, like buff ass Arnold,
yeah.
like fucking straight.
Terminator 1 and 2.
Yeah, those ones are awesome, dude.
But
Oh, the thing I wanted to say though is, do you think, you know how like they would fight, and then when the Terminator they were fighting would always focus on killing the girl, which is funny because we don't we don't even know her name, and she's supposed to be the main, like the main protagonist.
her name was Danny.
Danny. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Trinidad got me there. Sorry about that,
Yeah, her name
Trinidad.
was Danny.
But you notice every time they fought him, that was his main priority.
Well, yeah.
They made it like, because before he would, like the Terminator with like with Skynet, they would, you know what I mean, they would just blast anybody in sight, or like whatever's in the way is going to get killed or terminated pretty much.
Yeah.
But with this one, it kind of, you notice that though, like it'd be running towards her, Danny, to kill her, and everybody would be like trying to shoot him, the Terminator, without. So I was like, fuck, imagine if he wasn't trying to just kill her.
Oh, you're talking about if he just killed everyone else?
Like if he was just on free mode or whatever. Like,
I mean, yeah, he was. I guess I noticed that too. I guess.
like if you look back, every time he tried, like he threw in the beginning when the truck, he threw it at the chick, but she blocked it because she saw it was going towards Danny because she was driving the car.
Right.
And then in the end, that's what I noticed it a lot too, is when they were fighting and everybody was shooting the dude, the Terminator guy, and he was like getting shot and like running towards her, and even like his like fucking metal self, he pretty much, he wasn't focusing, even in the plane, you know what I mean? When they're in the plane, he was like, fuck everybody else, I'm trying to just just beat the shit out of this chick. He's just trying to get the KO on the chick.
Yeah, he's just trying to complete the mission.
So like my whole question for this thing is do you think if he was like on free roam, he would have just executed everybody?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but then she could have just got away because, I mean, assuming he killed everyone just like in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to kill, he didn't even kill Arnold Schwarzenegger in a few seconds. It still took him, you know, and he pretty much incapacitated.
It was pretty much like one of those. It was like it was like Terminator 2, where it's like, okay, I'm a fucking beast ass bot, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, and he's an outdated Terminator.
But they still, God. Okay, keep on going.
Yeah, he's just an outdated Terminator. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It's just how they made the movie. But overall, I mean, like, I'm a Terminator fanboy. Overall, I pretty much like the movie. I mean,
I liked it too. It wasn't too bad.
it was just like some things. It's just weird because now this whole Legion thing is in the mix. Are they gonna make a new Terminator movie now based off Legion? Is it gonna be called Legion now? Like, what the fuck?
It did really bad, dude. So they spent like 150 million or something crazy, like one of those like triple digits millions, and like 30 million the first week from the U.S. and then like 50 million from the
Overseas or whatever.
Yeah, so it didn't do good, dude.
I mean, me, like I said, I'm a fanboy, so I liked it. Some things would could have been changed. It's like, to me,
What about this?
To me, it was just probably just as bad as. I like Salvation better, I think.
Salvation was good. You see, this is the thing is like, I think trying to reboot it, but reboot it in like a certain fashion, it was just not the right idea. Like erasing everything else that happens and just being like, okay, this is what happens.
Yeah.
You can't just slap the fans in the face like that, you know?
Skynet never happened, bro, now. You can't.
It's Legion? What the fuck?
If you're making Terminator, it's about Skynet and it's about John fucking Connor.
And if you want to add a new character, that's fine, but don't kill a character off like that. Like the whole reason the Terminator exists,
because of John Connor.
Yeah, you can't just
fucking ultimately, yeah. Well, they're gonna make a new movie called fucking Legion. They better make it called Legion and not fucking Terminator.
Well, do you think they're gonna make a sequel? Do you think they're ever gonna make a sequel? Do you think the franchise is dead? Do you think we'll ever see a Terminator?
Another Terminator movie? I wouldn't be surprised if we do, but I don't think we will.
Because if you think about it, Terminator 3 didn't do good. So I'm just going to say this. Terminator 3 didn't do good. Salvation did all right. But the fans hated it. The newest one, I think, is what did the best.
Genesis?
Yeah. But then nothing came out of it, you know?
There hasn't really been a good Terminator movie since the first and the second ones. The third one, I mean, from what I can remember, it was all right. I mean, it was a grown up John Connor, from what I can remember, and then
I really feel like they should have stopped at
probably at 3.
I think they should have stopped at 4, because 4 was. I think people did. Oh, what are you gonna say?
Well, because from what I remember, in Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, the Terminator was sent back in time to again protect John Connor.
Yeah. And they had that chick with him too, right?
Yeah, his girlfriend or whatever. And
which was weird.
Yeah, and the whole point of it was to take him. Well, I mean it makes sense because because again, John Connor sends back Kyle Reese in a future where Skynet has taken over.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, of course, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine makes sense because Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine is about a Terminator sent back in time to protect John Connor. In Terminator 3, that's when Skynet happens.
Yeah.
That's when...
It's like the start of it. Start of Armageddon.
Exactly.
And then that's it. Even though they say in the beginning, he's like, he's like, I thought we stopped it. I thought we like stopped Skynet from happening. And Arnold's like,
no, you only delayed it.
Exactly, yeah.
And
which was a badass scene, by the way.
So the Terminator's job was to take John Connor to like the safe spot when Armageddon happens.
To his mom's grave, right? And that's when they had all the guns in there. And
that's where all the guns were. But no, he was sent to this military bunker base thing. I can't remember. But yeah, and so that's what Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine is against, is when Skynet actually happens, he gets taken back, and then Terminator Salvation is during, from what I can remember, because like I said, I've only watched that one a few times.
Yeah, that's probably the one I watched most out of most, like that. Not the most, but I've seen 1 and 2 a lot, and Salvation I've seen the most. But go on with Terminator Salvation.
You know, it's
the
during
future, yeah.
It's during Skynet's time, and you know, it's just, and I can't remember much what it was about. It was just again trying to stop Skynet. You know,
it was pretty much from Salvation. It was showing how weak humanity was against the Terminators,
Yeah.
and how he saved Kyle Reese from pretty much getting annihilated to send him back in the past, or
Oh
like
yeah, so you can send
sending
him
up.
back.
Yeah,
That's right.
because when he met with Kyle Reese, he was technically a kid.
A kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the goods. They had great source material. I just, for whatever reason, after 2, they just couldn't.
They had a great story. Potential to make great movies.
Yeah. And the first 2 hit.
The first 2 were hitters.
Just whatever happened after that, I guess.
But
I mean, maybe that's the one thing where people should, like, the thing comes in where it's like, some things are best left untouched, you know, or it's like, you don't.
Yeah, some stories are just, they should have just left it maybe at 2, Judgment Day.
Because they did live pretty much and win at the end.
Yeah. Where they delayed it or whatever, and
it's money.
And it never happened.
Money.
But yeah.
Money.
People are going to be like, what? Terminator 3,
Yeah.
But it makes sense because, well, yeah, I mean, Terminator 2, I guess they only delayed it, so. But I guess they were supposed to stop it. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I'm a fanboy, so I like the Terminator movies.
Same here, dude. Like I said, do you think the franchise is dead? Or do you think we'd ever see a new one? Just
like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another one. But no, I don't think they're going to be in the works.
Yeah. Because sadly, at the end, too, Arnold was like, I won't be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Schnerd reviews.
On this
Terminators, but I got a couple more stuff. What do you think of this? Because I've been doing a playthrough of the Star Wars, and I got Trinidad to fucking beat one of the main bosses, apparently. Second try, technically.
Yeah.
But this fool literally only picked up the controller like 5 seconds before that, so.
Never even played these games before.
He's right, and that's on hard, dude. So there's normal.
Shit, that was on hard.
Yeah, so it's easy, normal, hard, very hard, and
shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this fool got fucking natural talent with his fingers.
Hey.
No wonder why you got those fucking Tinder bitches.
That's not true.
You got the Komodo dragon from Will, I see. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But I know you're not a Star Wars fan, but. From that
I like Star Wars. I like watching the movies. I mean, sometimes they get boring, but so of course, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, from that little taste you got from that game, what would you think? Like, you would buy it even if you're not a Star Wars fan?
No, I wouldn't buy it.
You wouldn't buy it? No.
But I'm not the best person to ask that question. Because
well, it's good. It's good to get like a variety of opinions. That's why I try to get a lot of people on here.
I mean. It's just like I said, when I'm playing these games, I feel trapped. Like, there's not very many, and you're in space, I get it.
No, I know what you're saying, because when you're in space, you're not in space. You're just kind of like, well, I'm traveling from planet to planet. You're not like, okay, I'm in space. Let me look around here in this asteroid. I see what you're saying, but go on.
But no, but even when you land or whatever, you go into this fucking spaceship or whatever, and then it's like you're going down this tunnel and you're continuously going down this tunnel, and it's like from tunnel to tunnel you're beating enemies, and until you get to the fucking boss. And it's not free roaming.
You ever play
it's not free roaming like Kingdom Hearts. Like
you play Dark Souls?
I've played it, but honestly I don't remember because I played it hell fucking long ago.
It's kind of like that, where it's just like you have a main mission, but if you want to kind of wander around, you can. But I kind of see what you're saying. But where I was in that point of the game, I was kind of trapped, and I didn't know where I was going and stuff. So, but apparently, a lot of people are trying to say it's going to be Game of the Year.
No,
I mean, it could be. But
there's so many Star Wars nerds possible.
With EA, though, I think this has been really boosting their reputation. Excuse me. I think it's really been boosting their reputation with EA because, I mean, EA and Star Wars, that shit's just been a huge wreck, bro. especially with Battlefront 2. You hear what happened with that? How they almost got sued from Hawaii because it was technically illegal gambling with the loot crates.
Say that one more time.
So, for people who don't know, like it was like a year or two ago, I think it was last year, whenever Battlefront 2 came out, EA got in trouble from Hawaii, or I'm pretty sure it was Hawaii, and they were pretty much they were charging him. They were trying to sue him or trying to take down because they were doing illegal gambling, pretty much for the loot crates. So the loot crates, little kids were pretty much buying loot crates, and they classified it as gambling.
Loot crates. What is that?
I'm glad you don't know what loot crates are, dude. I'm so happy you don't know. So pretty much like a few Call of Duty games, EA games are pretty much pay to win. So it's you. Let's say you spend $10 and you use $5 to buy something that's a chance to get a legendary item, but it's like, let's say it's like a 10% chance.
Oh.
So those pretty much, and Hawaii challenged them, and after that they kind of backed off of it. But so you never heard about that, Trinity, dude?
No, dude, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Oh man, dude. Well, yeah, dude. They're. What do you think about EA? Like, is there anything about with EA that you played or done or anything? Or
Yeah, Madden.
just Madden, huh? So what if somebody gave you a $5? So would you have to give Madden $5 for every season you had to play afterwards?
For every season, fuck that.
Yeah. So like, you're playing online. So you're playing My Career. You finish the season. You had to give another $5.
Suck my dick. I already have to buy the game every year just for a few extra fucking. Literally for probably, let's see, the 32 teams, at least the first and second draft pick. So 2 times 32, that's fucking 64. Fucking fuck that. 64. And that's just the first 2 rounds. Fucking, there's 7 rounds.
And then
So
times
really,
that by like.
So really, you're getting maybe a few hundred extra players.
Just
And you're
times
paying
that by like
$60 for
800,000 people for like the first week.
$60. Fuck that. That's
um,
why I stopped playing those games too.
yeah, they're not the best, but EA.
No, I love Madden. They're awesome.
I'm just hoping EA could like kind of learn and just like learn that you could give free stuff away. You know what I mean? You don't always have to charge for every little single thing.
Yeah, right. No, but what they need to do with Madden is fucking just make it DLCs for the fucking new draft and shit and NBA.
And just update it from there. You know why they don't do that is because it's microtransactions, dude. Those microtransactions makes it so easy for those sports games.
What do you mean microtransactions? What are you talking about?
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. Like, this is like the currency in the game is. I'm gonna buy a bracelet for my character, for my player character. You know what I mean? So the currency in the game to real life is like $1. So I'm gonna buy $1 for a bracelet. Oh, they got some new shoes, the new Kobe's or LeBron's that just came out. Okay, that's $5. Okay, I'm gonna get those for my player. That's $5. Oh, they got the new 2020 outfits out already. Okay, I'll put another $5. And you know what I'm saying? So it just keeps on building from there, and it's just like.
Oh, like if you want to make your avatar look cool?
Yeah, you gotta buy that stuff instead of unlocking it or doing anything, and it just I hate when that stuff comes up because the argument I've heard from some people, because I've seen both sides of the argument when it comes to DLC. It's like, okay, this person wants, so the player and the development side. So the player side is like, I want, this should be for free, and you're charging me for a whole packet of extra stuff. Let's say like it's like extra $10 when last like 4 years ago, this was free. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then the development side is like, well, you want us to keep on making stuff, right? You wanted to keep on holding up these servers, or so they say, the servers and all this stuff.
Right.
You got to keep on paying us.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
So I get both sides, but I'm more of the player side because I'm the player. Obviously, I don't develop games or anything, but at the same time, it's like, come on, dude. You can't charge me something for a cosmetic. You can't charge me $5 for a cosmetic that I could have unlocked, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but what are you gonna do? And you're always gonna have, especially little ass kids. They're gonna be like, "Mom, will you buy me?"
That's where Fortnite comes in, dude. That's what Fortnite, like, literally, like Fortnite and what was that other one? Minecraft. That's the generation that grew up with DLCs, dude. Can you tell me of any weed stories you got?
Weed stories.
Any weed, like, so I'm talking about like you get high and something happens and you're embarrassed, or you're like, fuck you. Let's hear one of yours. I want to hear. You seem like you already have something since you're looking at your phone and threw it down right when I said that. You turned your head.
So
I like how it starts already.
So this one time I was at Nick's house, right? And me and Nick were just chilling. He was on his computer. I was just chilling next to him, kind of just fucking around on his guitar. And then I was just sitting there, and then all of a sudden I was just like, I'd trade my friends' lives for $1 billion.
Whoa!
Right, but I was just fucking.
He's fucking with you, and you're just so high.
No, I said that.
Oh, you said that? Oh shit!
And then Nick was like, fucking asshole. And then that was it. And then that was it. And then the day went on. I left. I went home. Dude, I can't even remember what after I did that day. But that night, I went to go hang out with Nick again because at night, Nick would have to go pick up his brother downtown from work at like fucking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Fuck.
And I would stay awake, and I would go with him sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that same night, I happened to stay awake. I went with him, and we picked up his brother. We went to go get some wraps and something to eat, and we went back to his apartment, and we chilled and we smoked. And it was me, Nick, Will, and Nick's brother Isaac. And we had gotten this weed from fucking Sims.
Yeah.
We had gotten this weed from him. It was like this rosy ass weed. It smelled like roses. It smelled so good. I remember me and Will were like, "Oh my god, this weed smells bomb." And so, anyways, we go back to Isaac's place and we start rolling this blunt and we smoke it. And all of a sudden, we're in his living room apartment. Nick and Will are sitting across from me on a couch.
Yeah.
And then you go to you move in a circle formation. Then it's Isaac on his couch, and then it's me on a little island on like a fold-out chair.
Gotcha.
Or like a kitchen chair or whatever. And I'm just sitting there, and dude, my body starts feeling hella fuzzy. I start freaking out, and I'm like, dude, earlier today I was like I would trade my friends like.
This
like
dude.
I was like, I said that shit, you know. I was like, what if it happens? I started freaking out. I was like, dude, what if I wake up in the morning in my head? I'm saying this, mind you, I'm saying all this in my head.
Gotcha.
And I'm just sitting there while Isaac is playing like Nintendo Wii, and Nick and Will are just conversating or watching him play.
They're just tripping out.
And then I'm over here in the fucking corner tripping fucking the fuck out. And thinking to my head like, "Fuck, dude, my friends are gonna die." And then I started saying it, but I'm gonna have $1 billion. And I'm like, "No, fuck that, dude. I don't want that to happen. I want to keep my friends." Blah blah blah. And then Nick looked at. I noticed Nick looked at me. He's like, "Dude, are you okay?" I was like, "Dude, I'm having a bad fucking trip now. I'm freaking out." And then, dude, I'm literally fucking sitting there sweating. I'm in just a t-shirt and shorts, and I'm fucking sitting there sweating, shaking, like having fucking an anxiety attack, freaking out. And then Nick just asked me what was wrong, and I told him what happened. And I told him, I was like, dude, remember how I said earlier, like I would trade your guys' souls for like fucking $1 billion or whatever?
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, that's what's freaking out. I was like, I think it's gonna happen. And then he looked at me and just started laughing. And him and Will both started laughing. It was like, you know, he's like, you're being fucking, you know, he's like,
you're
hella
really
dumb.
fucking high, right?
And then I was like, dude, I can't take this. So I fucking stood up. I went to the bathroom, and I fucking threw up in the fucking bathroom. And I can't remember exactly what it was. Like, oh no, I said I would trade my soul to the devil for a
So this is the night where you technically. This is what I heard, that you saw the devil.
For $1 billion. That's what it was. Not my friends. I said I would trade my soul to the devil
for $1 billion.
Or some bullshit like that. And then I started freaking out. And then I was in the chair. I felt like my fucking body, my soul was like leaving my body. I fucking went to the bathroom. I fucking puked. And
what if you puked out some black ash?
Dude, it was fucking, that's what I remember, it being black and shit, bro. I'm not fucking kidding, dude. And, dude, that was just a bad fucking trip.
This is a bad night, dude.
Just a bad fucking night.
Oh, man, Trinidad.
It was
I'm
crazy.
sorry,
I was like, I really thought I had sold my soul to the devil.
I'm glad I heard the story from you, dude, because I've heard it from so many other people, but now I finally get it from the material source, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was at Nick's house, and I was like, dude, I was like, what'd I tell him? I was like, I would trade my soul to the devil for $1 billion. And then like I said, after that, the day goes on. Nick hits me up to come pick up his brother, and then we smoked that weed, and I was like, dude, it's fucking 3:00 in the morning. Fucking demons are out right now.
Oh, you got the fucking witches hour in your head and shit.
Dude, it was crazy. What about you? What's your crazy weed story?
So, I got a few of them, but since you're talking about your manifesting some shit in your head, so there's a couple of them I got. And this was early on. This is when I was probably like 17, and then when I first started smoking weed. I smoked weed with Keith, Josh, Dan, and Will. I don't know. No. And Stephanie. That's when Dan was dating Stephanie at the time.
Uh-huh.
And we smoked, and Dan and Stephanie went home, or he went to go drop her off or whatever. And the rest of us ended up walking to Kmart, which was down there where Smart and Final is now.
Mm-hmm.
So where Kmart is, we went over there, and I remember all of us being hella high, just being little like 17-year-olds walking in the store, just being hella quiet, just looking around, probably just eyes hella red, and just being so awkward and weird, you know what I mean? You just walk, like a bunch of kids will walk into the fucking store, and they're all just like hella, just you know what I mean? Eyes moving around, just hella quiet, just so high. Really fucking high, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember those days.
So we all pitched in to buy eye drops, because this is at the time where we still were trying to hide smoking weed. It's not like today where you can just smoke weed and it's okay.
Right.
We were trying to hide it from our parents and shit. And I remember we bought it on the way back. We're going back to somebody's house to smoke more weed. But I remember on the way back, I was looking at, there's like a little, just a basic ass fence, like to your shoulder, like a 5-foot fence, you know what I mean, to block off a school,
Mm-hmm.
or like a field or whatever. And I was looking at the fence, and I was like, what if my face just got caught on it, and it just tore my face like a piece of paper. And then I was like, what if it got caught and tore, and then I freaked out, and I was like, oh, and I just shook my face, and it just, like a dog ripping apart of like a pillow or something, just ripping it apart. I was like, oh my god. Then I just remember being like grabbing my face and being like, just like walking away, like walking into the road kind of, and like, what the fuck you doing? I was like, I was literally like, I'm like, I'm fine, but in my head I just remember being like, holy fuck, if I make one wrong move, I'm gonna be like,
fucking dead.
I'm gonna be like Mario, and fucking when he runs to the spike and just be like, the little soundtrack plays and I die and shit. But there's another one I got, and this is when I first started dating Lindsay, and
That's recent.
this is like 4 years ago, so kind of recent. But this is more recent than the last story, definitely. So we went to Monterey. This is probably like our second or third trip together.
Uh-huh.
And she wanted to stop by the weed club. And there's only like 3 of them out there near Monterey. I forget which one we went to, but I ended up getting an edible. And it was like, this is before the laws changed, so I got like a 200 milligram edible.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "You're not going to eat the whole thing." And I was like, "I can eat the whole thing and I'll be fine." So I ate the whole thing. And literally, like, because I ate it at like 6 o'clock. And we went out, we got food, we went out, drove around, we were fine, came back to the hotel at 9 o'clock. Like not 9 o'clock, but around that time. And she told me, like, on the drive, like, when we were driving around, she was like, "Man, there was some crazy story where they found somebody, they were sleeping in the bed, and in the mattress, somebody was literally sewn into the mattress."
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it was at a hotel, and I was like, that's what I was saying. I was like, what the fuck? But so we were chilling, we smoked some weed, and I was really fucking high at this point. Like, we went back to the hotel, we're relaxing, smoked some weed, getting ready for bed. We're watching, we're just watching TV, you know what I mean? And then she falls asleep, and as she's falling asleep, I'm like, oh fuck, I should go sleep too. So I turn off the TV. And like I said, this is when we first started dating. So like I turned off the TV and I didn't want to turn it back on because I was like, I don't want her to think this is when my mind starts racing. You know what I mean? That point when you're really hard, when you're really hard, when you're really fucking stoned.
Yeah.
And fucking when you're really stoned and you're just like, fuck, you just start thinking and you're just like, oh shit, what the fuck? And my mind started racing, and I got terrified because I was like, "Oh, she was talking about a body in the mattress. What if this is the place? What if this is the place with the body in the mattress?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure I'm laying on a dead body right now." And I'll never forget. She was sleeping so good, and I was up until like 4 o'clock in the morning until that shit wore off, and I finally fell asleep.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. I was like, jeez, what the fuck is wrong with me?
That'll just fuck you up with a 200 milligrams ain't no joke.
They ain't, dude. They really ain't. I had a few more questions, but it's getting late. I see you getting tired, so I'll do the WIRs just real quick if you don't mind.
What's up, WIRs?
Would you rather?
Okay.
Okay. So you're in an arena. All you get is a nice like bamboo stick. The other end opens and comes out, and this is where your choice comes in. Would you rather fight a chimpanzee or an Arctic wolf?
An Arctic.
Yeah, these are weird ones. I just thought of these last minute.
Fucking chimpanzees will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Probably a wolf.
A wolf.
An Arctic wolf.
And chimpanzees, I feel like, would be like fucking anime where you're like beating their ass, and then you get that one hit in where it's supposed to be the end, and they grab it, and the music starts playing, and then they fucking start beating your ass and shit.
No, fuck that. Chimpanzees go nuts.
All right. Would you rather turn 15 feet tall, which is pretty much about like 5 stories, or 1 foot tall, which shouldn't be higher than your shin?
15?
15? Oh, okay. Since we're what?
What? Keep going, sorry. Little person.
Would you rather fight the original Arnold Terminator or the Terminator 2 T-1000 Terminator? The liquid?
Oh, the original. Yeah, fuck the liquid one. Fuck the liquid one.
Yeah, that one would be scary. That's, geez, ahead of its time. So go 200 miles per hour on a boat or a car.
Car.
Huh?
Car.
You wouldn't want to go on a boat? Alright, here's one. Not be able to text for a week or not use internet for a week.
Not be able to text.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess nowadays you can really just use the internet if you want to text.
That's correct, Mundo.
You know what? I'll ask you these questions real quick anyways. What was your first online experience with consoles and PC?
Oh, man. It had to be Halo. Halo 2.
Halo 2, yeah.
Had to be Halo 2.
I remember talking about this the other day where I was telling you about how a couple of me and my friends ditched and Halo ran.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember playing Crimson Sky, I'm pretty sure what it was called. It was like the first Xbox game.
Oh, yeah?
Online game. Or it came with Xbox. And I think it was like one of the first online games to ever come with it. What about PC? What was the first PC online game experience you had?
Fucking World of Warcraft, bro.
It all makes sense now.
World of Warcraft for the fucking win.
It all makes sense
For the
now.
Horde. And the Alliance.
Alright, I got a couple more questions and I'll be done for sure. What do you think? Okay. What are some of the best couch moments you ever had with friends that you could think of off the top of your head?
Couch moments.
So like four screen, like Halo or whatever other games, or maybe you and another friend was playing a co-op campaign.
Yeah, I mean Halo. We were playing co-op campaign at Mike's house. Fucking just getting our TVs LAN party.
Oh, dude, I forgot about LAN parties. I remember my brother's friend had one of those, and so fun, dude. This is the first time I sniped somebody without them. A headshot snipe somebody. Yeah, we'll smoke that in a sec, dude. We'll get this real quick. With the just real quick for my responses, I remember Josh. We're playing out here in my living room, and we're playing on a 22-inch screen, 4-player split screen. Yeah, that should tell you everything. And this is when we get mad at each other. Like you're fucking
screen peeking.
Yeah, you screen.
You look at my screen, you fucking asshole.
Oh, dude. People will never understand that.
Hell no.
People under like fucking 15 will never understand that.
Playing online is like a normal thing now.
We used to call him a screen hooker.
Back then it was like you had to fucking have internet, fucking dial-up had to be connected and shit.
But I remember the funniest thing though, and this is what Josh said. We were playing a game and somebody started winning. He's like, "Damn it!" He's like, "Hey, let me show you this ancient Chinese secret," and he just acted like he just smacked you in the fucking face. He got really close. He's like, "Ah." He's like, "Ancient Chinese secret." And he's like, "I smack you in the face." Oh, those are good times.
Dude, hell, man.
Great times. But yeah, this is the podcast. Hope you guys are having a good time with the family and everything. Be nice to each other, you know what I mean? Yeah, be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
Take an
Uber, Lyft, stay somewhere if you have to, you know what I mean? Just be safe, people.
You can call the cops, they'll give you a ride, I bet.
Don't call the cops if you're drunk. They probably
Just not if you're driving.
Yeah. If you call the cops, fucking leave your keys in your car, or like don't have your keys ready in action.
Don't be in your car ready to drive. Just or help situations.
Exactly.
And don't be dumb.
You guys have a good one.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Snerd.